You are listening to the Marriage Clinic Podcast, a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. Our purpose is to inspire and equip you with knowledge and skills to enable you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. Now your host, Joshua Mulgrew.
Last week, we discussed the do's. Today, I want to talk to you about the don'ts. My name, as I keep reminding you, is Dr. Joshua Mulgrew. Please just pause it right now and do share it as we keep going. This is the Marriage Clinic Podcast, a podcast about love, marriage, and your personal development. And we come to you every week. Let me remind you, if you do have questions, please do send your questions in. Don't hide your questions. Send your questions in. Even when you disagree, please put in the comment section, I disagree with you. I tried this and it worked. I am not always right. I'm always talking about what happens majority of the time, but there will always be outliers. We have been talking about online dating. It is true that sometimes for various situations, you may need to consider dating online. And we've been talking about all the things that go into online dating, the benefits, the dangers. And last week we spoke about the do's, what you should do if you choose to go online to date. But today I want to speak to you about the don'ts. Please take the don'ts very seriously because it's important. If you listen to the don'ts and you work out the don'ts, you will be able to streamline your life and get in the right direction. So let's jump into the don'ts. Number 1, don't stop in-person dating because you've got an online profile. Don't close your mind completely that from now onwards, I'm only dating online. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Leave space. I would say do a hybrid kind of conversations with people. And remember, until you've agreed to enter into a relationship, you can talk with multiple people. But the moment you say, yes, you and I are exclusive, and the person agrees you are exclusive, then you need to stop talking to other people. But you can be talking to someone online and someone in person is talking to you. Hey, you are casting your net wide. Relationships are a probability situation. The more people you meet, the higher the probability that you are going to find the right person. So please don't rule out in-person relationships. Number 2, don't rush into a meeting. You met the person a week ago. He's telling you, could you come spend the weekend in my city? And mumu, you are going. What business do you have leaving to go and spend a weekend with somebody you have never met in person and with somebody that is, you don't know? There are several people who have lost their lives because some serial killer was sitting behind the PC and encouraged them to come meet. So don't rush into a personal meeting. And if you do have to get into a personal meeting, make sure that it is in a public place and it is daytime. I advise daytime. Don't do dinner with someone you're meeting for the first time. Do a lunch break. Let it be short. Do a church date. Both of you can meet in church, chat a little bit after church, and you all go your separate ways. Make sure it's the first time you are seeing the person, as we love to say, fili gadochi. Make sure that it's in a public place. Make sure that sometimes you need to go with backup. Especially if you're a lady. Talk to your brother or talk to your cousin or some guy friend. Say, hey, I'm going to meet this guy. Hey, I need you to be 100 meters away. Don't rush into meeting in person. Be careful. Take time to establish a connection and feel comfortable before arranging an in-person meeting. Rushing for face-to-face interactions can lead to disappointment and potential safety risks. As I said, don't disclose sensitive information. You've been talking to the guy for a week. You've told him your name, where you were born, the secondary school you attended, your mother's maiden name, your father's maiden name. With that, he can easily find your password. Because for most of you, you've taken your date of birth and you've added it to your password. I mean, you have careless passwords. It's not a data security thing, but And if you're listening to this and you haven't changed your password in the last 6 months, you should change it. All right. So don't disclose sensitive information too quickly. Don't ignore red flags. You are chatting with him and you see a lady walk behind. He says, who is that? Oh, who? Did you? No, there was no one. Please, it's a red flag. She can't reach you and she begins to send you 300 messages. You just couldn't pick up the call for maybe an hour. And by the time you pick up the call, she said, if you knew you won't pick my calls, you should have made me know. And then the next moment she said, hey, cray. There may be a problem there. All right. So when you see the red flags, he gets angry easily. He's already asking for money. This is going on. Don't ignore the red flags just because you want a relationship. We walk into relationships. We don't fall into relationships. All right. Then also, I would say don't engage in excessive messaging. In the morning, you send a message. In the afternoon, you send a message. In the evening, you send a message where you are now so reliant on each other. No. Don't engage in excessive messaging. Listen to something. A relationship works when two people who are whole begin to interact. But the moment the person is blackmailing you, and don't allow an emotionally damaged person to work themselves into your space and control your whole life. You had a life before the dating, this online dating, and you will have a life after that, even if you do get married. So don't allow yourself to be isolated. Don't allow excessive communication, especially when you are not sure. Don't take any decisions based solely on the profile and what they have told you. Investigate. All right. Yes, he's 35 and he says he's not found a lady yet and he's not married. It's true. He may not be married, but maybe he has like 3 baby mamas. Baby mama means he's had a child with someone else. So he may have 3 kids out there. So don't make assumptions. Always treat people as guilty until proven innocent when you are dealing with online dating. And the last one I will bring to you, I'll mention, is don't take rejection personal. Maybe you are so into the person and the person after a while says, hey, this is not going to work. Understand that just like we break up in person, we also break up online. So whatever you guys have, know that there may be a breakup. Remember that 80% of all relationships end up in a breakup. That means that if you date 10 people, only 2 potentially can lead to marriage. So don't get so hung up. This one is the one that's going to lead to marriage. No. So, hey, I've come to the end of the entire online dating series. I know this will help you. Let me be clear. Online dating is not a bad thing to get into, but you should be careful as you get into it. And when you do get into it, make sure that you have met the person physically before you make a final commitment. I would not advise that you agree to be in a relationship when you have not met, you've not interacted on a number of occasions, you haven't met his people and he hasn't met your people. Even if you are in different countries, more the reason why you should take it slow. My name is Dr. Joshua Mogri. I'll be back with Ask Uncle Josh. I'm glad you've been with us. Take care. Okay, we are back with Ask Uncle Josh. And today Rebecca has sent me a question. And Uncle Josh is not very happy with the question, but Uncle Josh shall answer the question. My boyfriend does not know how to cook. And I'm not comfortable with the way he always buys food outside. Is it okay if I always cook for him, even though we are not married? Rebecca, Becky. I see where you are going with this question. Becky, how was your boyfriend surviving all these years before you met him? And who has suddenly made you cooker in chief for the relationship? Uncle Josh always reminds you, don't give wife benefits on a girlfriend's salary. Rebecca, you are about to start giving wife benefits on a girlfriend salary. Advise him. Let me give you a good idea. Get cooking channels on YouTube and send him the links. He should start to learn how to cook. It will help you when you marry. You yourself, there'll be times you'll be tired and you will need him to cook if you guys get married. But my dear sister, going to become a weekend cook for him, you will soon be cooking more than food. So my advice, occasionally you can cook a meal for him, but please don't make it a habit of acting like a wife when you are on a girlfriend salary, and who knows, you may just be one of many. All right. So take care, Becky. Let's listen. All the ladies out there, keep listening. And thank you so much for joining the Marriage Clinic podcast. Please look for me on all platforms. That is Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and all of them. Just look for Dr. Joshua Mogri. The Mogri is spelled M-O-G-R-E. And send me a message, send me a friend's request, comment on my videos. Even if you disagree, I always love to hear from you. Take care and bye-bye.